sitting here with Pat from Fit For An Autopsy in Seattle at El Corazon. You guys had a release in 2013, Hellbound.
Yes, sir.
This is the third day of this tour, the third show?
It's second show of this tour for us, but third day of the tour. We had some transmission problems in the van, so we had to unfortunately miss Santa Cruz, and we apologize to any of our friends and fans in Santa Cruz. We're going to make our way back out there in May on our headliner and make it up to you guys. We're real sorry. Just kind of hit us out of nowhere.
So I was, we were talking off camera, and typical, you try to find out who's all changing in and out of bands, and last I checked, you guys had Greg as your vocalist.
Yeah.
So now you got a new vocalist. What's up with that?
I mean, to put it, we kind of jumped the gun a little bit. We should have maybe not jumped as fast to be like, this is our permanent guy. Greg was a great live guy. It was cool. He helped us out when we needed it, but he just couldn't make the commitment that we needed him to make. You know what I mean? He had his things that he felt were necessary, and we didn't necessarily feel that it should have been fulfilled as a band. And so basically he kind of turned into a fill-in to finish some tours up for us. And
basically a hired gun that helped out,
and it worked out. He helped and got us through a couple things we needed to get through, and unfortunately it didn't work, but it could have turned out to be one of the best things that's ever happened to Fit For An Autopsy, because the guy that is here now is like, it's crazy, and I don't want to speculate or say anything that people are going to throw their hands up at, but it is the best move we could have ever made.
Really? So can you kind of give us a little background about Joe?
About Joe? Joe's from Long Island. He was in a band called Diamond Cutter, and he was also in a band called Refuge. Diamond Cutter is like a real heavy, like hardcore, like super like East Coast, like tough guy, super hardcore heavy, like pretty much a metal band, but still, hardcore name. And then Refuge is like a Casey strain meets like super slow, sludgy metal stuff. And he's got this set of pipes on him that none of us expected. He's like a guy that never really toured with a professional band. Local dude, he's played shows, he's got some experience, but like, the show we played yesterday or day before was the biggest show he's ever played. And he blew us away. It was like he snuck under the radar because he's a good buddy of one of the guys in the band, Tim. And when we were looking for somebody, we had some people pop up real fast, so we overlooked him, and he's cool, man. He's got a lot of range. He can do like super crazy, like pitch screamy stuff, like crazy like Gojira meets Lamb of God stuff, all the way down to like crazy like guttural like death metal vocals, and he can sing like a fucking songbird. So like we have everything we need to make any kind of record we want at any time. It's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool, because that's what I was going to ask. Your last release was in 2013, like I said, Hellbound.
Yep.
How's that album been? How's the fans been reacted to that?
Better than I could have ever asked for. It's one of those things where like you make a record, you put a lot of stuff into it, and you hope that people will like it. But the way the industry works now, it's a crapshoot with anything. I mean, you can write the sickest record and have like the sweetest guitar parts and the best drums and just have it be like perfect, and people will find a reason to hate it if there's not something that they feel is tangible. Musically, it's only like 50% of the game nowadays, and our problem is that we don't give a shit about being cool or any of that stuff. Like, we like meeting our supporters. I hate using the word fans so much. I'm sorry that I'm going to use it.
Well, no, it's understandable.
Yeah, they're our friends. These people are our friends. They help.
Family.
Yeah, it's
the metal out world. We're a family.
Fans really are for pop stars. You know what I mean? Like, we say fans, but we mean friends. That there's people we want to hug and
because
thank.
We'll hit that at the end. The last question I got for you guys. So
I'm down.
I definitely got to hear what you got to say, because you seem like a lot like me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm older, and I've been involved in the metal and hardcore scene for a really long time. I got really solid roots in, old guy hardcore and old guy like DM and like stuff like that, and I love that stuff. And then I'm really into modern like noisy metal, and I really get into Gojira and Meshuggah. Meshuggah's probably my favorite metal band, and I have a lot of love for everything, but I see a lot of weird things that go on, like people not liking people because of the kinds of metal they like, and it's just really silly stuff where I feel like This is like a family. I don't give a shit what your band sounds like. If you're cool and you're making something that you back, I want to tour with you. If people like what we do, I want to meet them and hang out. I don't give a shit about being cool. You know, I'm too old to be cool now. You know? I'm almost 40. That shit's out the window, you know?
So what is the band's goals, or what do you guys got planned for 2015? Is there a new album going to be coming out after touring?
We just put up a press release a couple days ago saying that we're releasing a record around the summer. I'm going to say May to June sometime. We are planning a headliner right around that same time. And I'm not really supposed to be talking about it too much, but I already mentioned it once on the tour to another interview guy. So
we'll stop at that. You know, that people can expect to see something new coming out in the future.
Well, it's not even the record; it's the tour. You know, it hasn't been announced yet, but we're going out with a really big death metal band that I fucking love, and it's a co-headliner, and we're super stoked to go out with them. And it's gonna be a big deal. The record is sick.
Yeah, we definitely don't want you getting in trouble. Last year, I was interviewing my boy Skinny and J-Man of Mushroom Head. I've been friends with them for years. And they kind of leaked at Mayhem, at the beginning of the Mayhem Fest, with me. They leaked the tour that they were going to do. And next day, I had the label calling, hey, don't put that out yet.
We wouldn't want the tour to get aborted or anything. So, you know, it's one of those things. But, you know, it's one of those things where... sometimes you gotta play by the rules, but I don't give a shit about the fucking rules.
Last I checked, metal doesn't have rules.
Bullshit. You gotta be cool now, man. People don't like it unless you got like short pants on and like a funny jacket.
No, come on, we're not gay Talico.
Yeah. I got it.
So, what's your favorite places touring? You know?
I like the West Coast a lot. Australia was out of fucking control. Europe was really cool. I like everywhere. It's a little different everywhere. California's really cool. Ace of Spades is like one of my favorite clubs. I really like playing here because I love. Ace of Spades in Sacramento is one of my favorite clubs, but El Corzone's sick because John Pettibone runs this place, and he was in HIMSA, and I've known him forever, and the staff here is super rad. All the security guards are rad. Everything's cool, and then the Palladium in Worcester, Mass is cool, and I like all the guys over there, and Florida's rad, Texas is rad. I mean, there's good people everywhere.
So what's it like with the crowds going from Europe, and like you said, Australia?
Europe's crazy. Like, the fans are like a little bit more pushy, and you know, they have a tendency to be a little over the top, but it's actually it's pretty rad. We had a great time there, and not pushy in a way like bad, but pushy in a way like very in your face, very ask questions. They have no filter, which I'm really into. Like, oh well, you know, this song's cool, but I don't like the guitars in this song. You know, that shit's, you know, some people get mad, but it's like you're being honest, you know. But everybody's really rad and supportive, man. You know, our record's doing well. You know, Hellbound's still selling, and people are still discovering it, and we're doing good. No complaints.
So, when you write, do you write on the road? Do you wait until you get home to write?
It's a little bit of everything, but we have this crazy secret weapon, which is Will Putney. We have 3 guitar players, but he doesn't tour with us. So, you know, you sit down before you leave for a tour, and you hand him a few riffs. You talk about some stuff, like brainstorm a little bit on the sound you want, and then you come home, and there's like half a record or a whole record's worth of stuff, and then you sit down, you start rewriting parts and
do the modifications.
Yeah, you know, he's real cool about like bringing you in and being like, hey, I wrote these songs. Do you like them? Do you not like them? What do you want to scrap? What do you want to keep? Flipping parts around, changing things. So everybody contributes, but Will's a very, very important part of our.
Okay,
sorry. All right, you want to hit another room? Or you want to?
Yeah, we're gonna pause this for a second.
Yep. We'll pause it and we'll.